Well, Hal here with more Space Engineers, and as you can see, we are kind of in orbit around the alien world, floating in space, exactly as a giant brick doesn't. Oh, so we have a little bit further to go to get to some of these stations. It looks like, based off of the distance to them, that one of those stations is probably going to be on the surface, the other one's going to be in orbit. So we're going to head over that way, do a little micro jump. But first, we have to get started, so let's go. So, happy Wednesday, everybody. Hopefully you're having a fantastic day and a terrific week thus far. And what we are doing is we're getting ready to set up for our micro jump. Now, this one has a maximum range. What we've done, for those who don't know, if you have more than one jump drive, basically what it does is they automatically chain together. So you can change what your actual jump distance is based off of the jump drive that you're selecting to use. So if we turn this one all the way down, right, that gives us a jump range of 5 kilometers. If you come over here and we were to change which jump drive we wanted to use, we would still be able to jump 1,500 kilometers. So not too bad, right? So basically, with the way we have our game set up right now, each jump drive is going to give us a potential maximum of roughly 1,550 kilometers. So not too bad. Now, keep that in mind for later, because we're going to talk about some things toward a little later in the episode. For now, we need this thing to go. We're only going to use about 4%, maybe 5%. Oh, we actually going to get not too bad, actually. We're going to see if we can make this jump as soon as we get some power back. I thought the jump drive was charged. Are you not charged yet? Oh, you got another 20 seconds. Okay. So basically what we've been doing is doing some controlled, like, little micro jumps like this, because we're trying to get to the point where we can get around the planet. And what I want to do is I want to kind of just skim across the top of this without getting into the gravitational well. Getting into gravity with this would be bad, especially on the alien planet. But we're going to see how close we can get. I do not want 261 kilometers. I think somebody is messing with me. Yeah, so we just want yeah, because if this jump works, we should be, yeah, see, that's what I thought was gonna happen. Basically, we just need to angle to the point where the line of travel isn't going to put us into the gravity well. Wow. Really? There we go. So that should skim us pretty much just kind of across the top of the gravity well. We're closer to the planet than I would like to be. Alright, so you're at 160, you're at 75. So yeah, you're going to be on the surface. And the 116, that one might actually be on the surface. It's rather horrifying if it is. Let me see here. I am tempted to deploy our remote drone to see, and looking at it, because I'm trying to remember, for the alien world, you are considered in gravity at, I want to say 55K. So yeah, that looks like that actually might be. Oh crap. Alright. So let's go 139, 318. So what we're going to look for is anything that still has, we want 139. No. You might be. You are potential. So basically we're looking at any of the stations that we haven't visited yet. No, you are nowhere nearby. Actually, we'll check, because you never know. You're potential. No, you're going to be too far out. You're going to definitely be too far out. No. Alright. So we should have a couple of stations here that are potentially in the neighborhood. So can we make a jump there? There we go. And if you will notice, we have no. Yeah, see, there's a bunch of stations down there. All right. So the question is, if you were there. Looks like we have two station markers for the same station. Interesting. Alright, so the ENMN station, which is to the starboard, the furthest most to the starboard here, that's going to be the Eminent Miners. That's obviously an ore group. And IGTC, I think, is the Intergalactic Trade. Yeah, intergalactic technology. So they do components, tools, and gases. And independent manufacturers. Oh, interesting. We'll accept peace with the space spiders. Why? Because we can. Oh, okay, that's just hilarious. Can I wonder if we can propose peace with the pirates? Oh, are you kidding? Is that? Oh, that has got to be a bug. Are you serious? Did that seriously just? Oh, okay. Oh, that would have been hilarious if it did. Alright, so I think what we're going to do is let's get... let's see, which of our ships go this way? Oh, one of the things, before I forget, one of the things that we did is we did go ahead and... I need to put some light down here. We did go ahead and put in the airlock script that sees doors. So this is Whiplash. I can never remember. Let's see here. Yeah, it's these simple doors. So for those who don't know what this script is something that allows you to have, when you have two doors like this in close proximity, I think it's 2 or 3 blocks maximum between them. It groups them up based on the closest proximity door. So you can actually build simple airlocks by simply having these two doors together. Now, it won't do oxygen. It doesn't control, like, no oxygen style, like it won't depressurize and repressurize as an actual airlock, but you can build at least simple entry access points like this. And you are all ion now, which means I believe you are all ion as well. Oh crap. So what we're going to need to do is I need to build a little hydrogen flyer. Come on. Let me out. Hey you. Ah, damn it. Alright. Ah. So we want that. O2 generator. And cockpit. What is an industrial cockpit? I mean, they're fairly simple to deal with. Okay, so helps if I put my helmet on. Yeah. Well, we're gonna have to do a little bit of a quick and dirty build. It's not gonna be anything ridiculously overpowered or anything. What we want to do is just build a small scout style ship. I think we're gonna add some turrets as well. So we are woefully undefended in certain portions of the ship. And so I'm thinking we may do something like this. No, because you've got a big thruster there. How about behind here? Ooh, that works. Okay. So if we pipe something through, say, here. Yes? Oh, that actually isn't a bad area to pipe into. Because what we can do is we can put a conveyor block right here, a conveyor junction. And that gives us a turret on this side, and we'll do the same on the other side of the ship. Basically in the same location, so that we can get a couple of extra turrets in here. And I'm thinking, let's see here, you would be right there. Okay, so we have a little bit of stuff to work around on this side, but it doesn't stop us from being able to do it. And it would be just basically run piping in here, conveyor block right here. And as you can see, we did go ahead and put the programmable block in, and the ore detector is just kind of tucked away in here. I may move the ore detector up or down one block just to make it easier to run the piping in here. I mean, we could even tuck it in back here. It's not a huge thing. I'm not too worried about it, though. Yeah, I think that's what we're going to do. Okay. So, for now, let's go ahead and do that. What we'll do is we'll run... Can we... What's behind here? Ah. That was why I put it there, because I wanted the... Yeah, see, it's actually hidden back here. I guess I could put... Okay, so let's go... You and you, and we went... Oh, two. 4 of those, and a crap ton of conveyor junctions. Okay, so We're going to leave this side open for right now so that we can get in here and pipe things around. But for now, we do want to go ahead and get some starter stuff in here. Alright, so you're going to go here. Need interior plates to finish building that. Come here, you. And we're gonna back ourselves off the house. Alright. Grab some more stuff. Doo-ba-doo-ba-doo. All of this is because of the fact that I want to have the ability to leave the ship and not worry about it getting blown up while I'm gone. That really is what we're doing here. All right. Alright, and then you go there. Which is fine. Because we're going to come back here, grab some more parts. Hey, look at you. Okay. Alright, so what we're going to do, I'm going to go ahead and do a quick cut because I'm basically just going to do the same thing on this side. A little bit different, just so that we're going to be working from outside in this time. But ultimately, same end goal. Alright, so figure we'll do a quick cut. I'll get this stuff welded up and done. Ah, man, really? Alright. And when we come back, we should have a couple of turrets in place. Actually, I have plates. So let me see here. We're going to do... I'm not going to be able to do the turret there. Because the collision box for the turret is 3x3. Isn't it? If I put the turret here, what we're going to run into is this thruster, even though it's not technically colliding. Or did they fix that? I don't know if they fixed that or not. Let's see. We'll find out really quickly. Yep. So, yeah, we're not going to be able to put turret there. I mean, I guess I could move that thruster back on both sides. All right, so yeah, we're going to have to do a little bit of rocket surgery. So I'm going to go ahead and move that forward thruster backwards. So the thruster closest to where the turret's going in, that'll move afterwards of the second thruster on that side. We'll do that on both sides. We'll put the turrets in and get everything plumbed up. So we're going to go ahead and do a quick cut, get the surgery done, and we will be right back. And we're back. So we've gone ahead and made the modifications to our actual ship. We've depressurized the hull. Well, depressurized the cargo, this hangar at least. Show you what we did over here. So as you can see, we have, you know, a thruster stuck out on the side. We went ahead and repeated that on both sides. And one of the things that we're doing right now is we're making more ammo. So these turrets can hold, I think, 24 or 25 units of NATO round. And so what we're doing is we're actually producing 100 rounds. But what they do is they stop auto feeding when they get to like 12. So we should end up with, you know, about 50 units left over with, about 50 units left over when everything's said and done. And then that'll be more than, or should hopefully be more than enough ammo to keep the ship safe while we are out and about. And I did this thing it just locked me out my own damn ship. You son of a... Come here, you. Alright, so we need to make a change here. So we want hangar. These are the hangar 2 doors. And so we want this to be, I think it's manual. For these, actually, it's going to be for all of them, honestly. So let's just go ahead and do that. And the reason we're doing this is we want the hangar doors to not be on the auto open and close, mainly because of the fact that it gets rather annoying having that happen. So we're going to hang out here for a second, and what we're going to do is we're going to take the small scout ship that we have. We're going to take this out and we're going to re-engineer it. I'm going to basically strip off all of the armor, strip off the thrusters and all of the parts and everything, and leave just the cockpit, the whatever is directly behind it, the O2 generator. Should be a medium. Yeah, that's medium cargo. But we're going to pull everything else off. What we're going to do is we're going to stick this thing to the hull while we do it. And then we're going to add some hydrogen tanks, some thrusters, you know, the basic stuff. So, okay, looks like we're okay. You go from there to there. And we're so far away from, like, the cockpit is so far away from any of the thrusters. Are all the thrusters on? Yeah.
No fuel.
I mean, no fuel. Oh, because... fully recharged in 3 minutes, 3 minutes. You have a reactor on you, which is not outputting any power, which is why we're getting the no fuel warning. I'm kind of wanting to go stick this thing back behind the thrusters, because I have this really bad feeling that we're going to start working on this thing and we're going to have something attack us. You know it's going to happen, right? Alright, so let's go ahead and level you out. There we go. We can turn those off. And we'll set those to we'll set those to recharge just because for right now. Okay, so what we are going to do at this point is start grinding this stuff down. I'll turn the light on so you can see. I'm just basically going to strip all of this, like, miscellaneous stuff off the ship. We'll leave those for right now. But we have things that I don't want to break down, like the batteries. I want to keep those. So what we're going to do is we're going to try and pull the less important stuff out. See, that's why you don't actually connect anything. You're just there as a charging port. I forgot about that. So we may need to do a little bit of re-engineering on that portion too. Yeah, so this is basically what I've been thinking about for the last couple of days on. So we're planning to do some stuff. Now, one of the things that I was... Let me step back for a second. Earlier in the episode, we were saying that we're going to talk about some future plans for the series and for the ship. One of the things that I'm talking about doing for this ship, or what I'm thinking about doing for the ship, is doing a little bit of rework on it. So where we have these big areas like this here on the side of the hangar, I'm thinking about putting in some solar panels. I'm not going to put any up here because I don't want to run into the risk of the thrusters basically destroying them. But I'm looking for ways to have the ability for this thing to keep pulling power in the case we run out of, say, uranium. We've been lucky so far, but with us getting to the point where we're going to start traveling around a little bit more, and we're going to be planning to do more, being more reliant on our trade and less reliant on, going out and mining. We definitely need to keep in mind that there are going to be times when we need to have some of this stuff in, ahead of time. Right now we've got enough uranium to keep us going for a while. I think in total we have like 250 units or something like that. So we do, we're okay short term. But like I said, for the long term, I want to be a little bit more secure. So we're just going to do this, transfer all that over. And one of the things I've been doing is trying to get more comfortable with some of the changes that they've made to Space Engineers, like some of the new like shortcut controls. So hopefully you're going to see me using some of these things a little bit more regularly. So get rid of that spotlight. That spotlight. Curious. Okay, so you do have a large connector, but we're gonna have to pull the solar panels off in order to place this thing. Alright, that is actually easy enough to deal with. And we'll probably end up pulling all of the, all of the armor off of this thing. You know what? Let's go ahead and do it. Let's go drop this stuff off. Every so often I'm going to be checking to make sure I'm not falling into the gravitational well, because I think we're pretty close. Maybe not. I don't know. Maybe I'm just being paranoid. What's the old joke? Just because no one's out to, so just because you're paranoid doesn't mean they're not out to get you. Yeah. All right. And there we go. So stripped down to its very, very basic necessities here. All right. We are going to say, make sure, yes, you're there. Actually, no, I don't want to do that. I want you. Okay, so that is all around. Do I want it that way? I think I want it that way. Interior plate. Hey, look, I just happen to have some interior plates. Okay. Okay, so if we do that... No, I can't do it that way. I mean, I guess I could. That'd just be kind of funky. So I think what we're going to need to do... Yeah. So if we do that... we'll have to go there. Okay. We're going to have to change up a little bit of our design here. Oh, not really change up, but you know what I mean, right? Hopefully you know what I mean anyway. We're going to do that because it gives us a few more connections to play with. Oh, this is going to be a beast of a ship. So with those, and basically what I'm doing with these, in fact, let's go and roll those up really quick. Because I will forget otherwise, and then by the time I'm ready to come back and weld those in, there we go. We're going to have some just ridiculous problem. Never fails. Yeah. Let's go tank there. Are you actually... I think you'll still fit in there. That's what's really horrifying. That is terrifying that that should still fit inside the hangar. Alright, works for me. Alright, so that gives us the ability to put a connector here and on, like we can actually put connectors on the bottom, back, and top at that point. So that opens up a lot of potential for us. Now these have a large. Do I want to put a large thruster on these? Because large thrusters are ridiculously inefficient. Let's see here. So we got the conveyor frame. So does anybody else remember when they used to have the adapter? It was basically a conveyor frame that had small conveyor ports on the side of it. Or am I just completely misremembering the game? But I could swear at one point they had what was basically a conversion that would take you from a large connector to a small connector without having to use the conveyor junctions. I mean, like I said, I could be completely wrong about that, but for some reason I seem to remember that being a block. Oh. Anyway. So if we do that, those will be piped in. Ice.
Energy low.
We can get ice into that system.
No fuel.
Trying to tell if we're moving. We shouldn't be. There we go. Let's go ahead and take some of this stuff off here while we're waiting. I'm going to go ahead and turn the reactor on. Let the batteries charge. Like I said, we've got a bit of fuel, so I'm not too worried about that right now. One of the things I am going to have to do is find some ice, because I don't think we have any left. I think we used it all. Right? Yeah, we're out of ice. Okay. Which I figured was going to happen, but... Alright, so if we do... So we're going to have to put braking thrust on this thing. And see, I'm kind of not wanting to use the large thrusters. Because if we use those, right, which is fine, we can if we have to. Part of the reason I don't want to use them is because when you're doing like fine maneuvering on these, with these types of things, those thrusters put out such a cone of destruction, it makes it really difficult to get anything done with them. But so let's go solar. Alright, so our solar panel, if we put you in there, can I get that across, or is it going to have to be mounted up? It's going to have to be mounted up, which is fine. I don't honestly mind that. You know, it's like, it's not like I hate this idea. I need a few plates. Okay. Just grab all of the plates that we have sitting in here. Come on, let me out. Thank you. You know what? Let's go that, and then if we go, whoa, hello. How about if we go something like this? Come over here, do the same. Alright, and then that will allow us to say crud. So I can put that there. That's not what I want. So it is going to need to come back up one more. And then we go something like that. If we put that there, and we do the same on this side. Can I get these to line up? In such a way that we end up with... it's really annoying. I really hate the way that the boxes, the collision boxes for attach points work. So I do that. Is that enough room? It is. Because then we can hopefully take that block out. That block out. Well, see, this is what I don't like about the attach system. Is that these are enough for that thing to attach to. Yeah. The more they change it, the more they break it. Now, one of the things, before I forget about this, one of the things I was recently talking about with the Dredden is that there is this interesting little, let's call it an advanced user tactic that's available in Space Engineers. Because of the way that collision works, I should say occlusion works, with sunlight, solar panels are able to sometimes pull they register solar impact, or solar visibility without actually having it. So if you put a tower up and you put solar panels at the top of the tower, even though the sun has set, because there is still a vector of, just like a vector in there for the path of the light, even though it's coming up through, say, like part of the planet, it'll still register as pulling power. Basically, what this comes down to is if you put solar panels in, like where I did there, where that's the mounting face. If I then rotate these over, I can mount a second solar panel to the top of this thing, and often get both of them to register at whatever the light level is. So if the one on the top is at 100%, the one on the bottom is at 100%. This allows you to double up your power production within roughly the same space. I mean, it still technically occupies 2 blocks worth of thickness, but because of the way that the light works, light occlusion, I should say, works, what happens is that both of them register. So you can actually double your power. Effectively double your power. And, it doesn't look half bad when you do it. I'm thinking here what we will do then is we'll go ahead and do our antenna on one side and our antenna there, and our ore detector on the other. And since everything we took off of here what do we have that we don't really need right this second? We don't need those. So let's go ahead and grab those. We'll grab that. Grab those. We're going to go weld these two pieces up really quick. I really would like to have a control panel that I can get on that thing. They have one on each side. Because I need to turn that antenna off almost immediately. Turn that off. Turn that off because we're not going to use this for scouting right now, but we want to have the option of it at some point. Alright, so that gets us general power. We've got our reactor backup in case we need it. And what I may do is I may actually relocate that reactor down in here so that it's out of the way and put like put two of them in here. Maybe put two gyros in here as well. Kind of liking this concept here. Alright. And then we can put a connector here and here, which means we'll be able to move the connector that's up front so that it sits back here instead, which gives us I don't know if I do that I may move the landing gear too then, because I was using the landing gear as basically a way of protecting the ship a little bit, or protecting the connector specifically, but it might not be a bad idea to move the connector and just leave the gear. Alright, so we are going to do that, do that. We don't need much on the horizontal controls, but we will need some things on vertical. So I'm thinking what we're going to do for vertical controls both on top and bottom is we're going to go, oh, wrong one. Do that, that, and we bring it in one on either side. We're going to repeat this on both sides, mainly because of the fact that we are going into a pretty dense atmosphere, and I'm always worried about not having enough lift control. I'm not worried about the counter ascent, like the descent thrust, but I do worry about the lift thrust. And the reason why I'm going with so many on the lift or on descent control is because if the ship gets flipped for some reason, I want to be able to flip it back up. I tend to have a really bad time of that. Here we go. I need more interior plates. Okay, so let's go plates. Grab 100 more, why not, right? Okay, that'll give me 6 there. 6 there. That should be enough for general lift. We've got the 2 large thrusters forward, 2 large aft. Okay, so that is most of the ship. Like I said, we're going to relocate things like the connector. We're going to move that back. I may even put extra batteries on this. Not that it really needs them because I'm not doing... I mean, I guess I could put an atmospheric thruster on this thing. If I wanted to get really fancy, I could put a large atmospheric thruster in. Do I want to, though? No, I think we'll leave it like it is. Alright. Now, there is ice on that asteroid, I believe. When we were flying in, I saw ice on a couple of the asteroids. So what I'm thinking is that we will get these tanks. I'm going to go ahead and weld this stuff up. We'll get the tanks starting on processing. And we have a connector here. So what I can do is I can actually I can shunt some of the hydrogen from our current tanks into this thing. And since we have ion thrusters on the actual ship, we don't have to worry about getting trapped. So I think that's what we'll do. That'll actually be faster than going out and mining it. And then what I'll do is once we get down there, looks like we might have some stuff in the area. We'll stop and do some like manual mining operations to pick up some ice. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead, get this beast welded up. We're not going to worry about skinning it too much right this second, but we will do some skinning on this in a bit. But yeah, let me go ahead and get this thing welded up, and we will be right back. And we are back once again. Alright, so yeah, it's been a interesting morning. So, as you can see, we were able to get this little beastie tethered up. We basically just removed the landing gear. We unlocked the landing gear, removed them. And while it was sitting there, we repositioned the ship to catch on to it. So, yeah, that works. Now, what we're talking about with the solar panels, just to show you. So, with the solar panels being face-to-face, where they're, sandwiched together, you see how you have the 3 lights here, so you're at about 75% efficiency. You're less than 100, basically. On this side, you also have 75. So, between the 2 panels, well, between the 2 layers of panels, we are pulling quite a bit of power off of these. So, yeah, just, FYI, future... If you, I guess, future plans, advanced user tactics, whatever you want to consider it, it works. Alright. Now, the one thing that I don't like is that, basically you end up with this giant gap space in here. I haven't decided what I want to do with this. I'm actually thinking about adding another connector because some of the stations have connectors on them at the end of booms. Right, like they'll have a boom arm on it. And so what that will allow me to do is if I have the connector on here, I'll be able to actually back the ship into the port and connect to the base. So that way if I'm doing something that's going to potentially add a lot of mass to the ship. Let's say I bring back a load of platinum or a load of ice or whatever. This will allow me to be able to connect to it and get the additional booster or the additional lift from the thrusters while we're there, so we don't have to worry about, making sure that we have the large thrusters down and everything's turned on, and this way it's just, plug and go. And I don't have those. I don't know if I can pull plates to this whole thing. I don't think I can. I think plates are a little too big, yeah. But what I can do is come over here and do it. This is I have to say, this is one of the silliest, constraints. mean, I guess I could have just added thrust on those off of those guys if I really needed to. Control panel, we want thrusters. And we just added U4. There we go. And now what we can do is we are going to go in here. We're going to grab the last 4 of those. And we should be able to go ahead and... What am I missing? It says I'm missing everything. Oh, is it because... Oh, no, it shouldn't. Guess it was. Weird. So if we manually pull through the connector, we're okay. That's the dumbest... I swear, that is probably the dumbest mechanic, man. There you go. Alright. So what I did is, after we got connected up, I basically set these tanks to stockpile, which effectively siphoned off H2 out of the rest of our system, but that's okay. Like I said, we don't have a whole lot going on over here that we need to worry about. So, what I do want to do, doobie-doobie-doo, not to be confused with Scooby-Dooby-Doo. Let's see here. If we go there, no. Or do I want to just... Let's see, because if I do it there instead, I kind of like that a little bit better, I think. Alright, I should have the parts. Oh no, I dropped all the parts off, that's right. Okay, so if we do this, we go here, do that. Come on. Is it seriously telling me I'm missing like one construction component? I sure as hell am. That's you. Goofball. Did I used because of... Yeah, alright, so order up 1,000 of those. Okay, so that gives us the landing gears, that gives us connectors. And I'm going to leave the second connector on here, mainly because of the fact that when we bring it up to dock to the ship, I like having it with that little recess in there. And if I take that connector out, there's not a whole lot that I can put in there. I mean, I guess I could... I don't know. Maybe I could put like... probably pipe in some weapons or something. That actually might not be a bad idea. See, I would add more batteries, but I don't really need them. I mean, that was having those 2 batteries right there was enough to be able to power this thing when it was using atmospheric thrusters and ion thrusters. So, all right. So, what do you think? Shall we take us for a quick lunch? Alright, so what we're going to do is we are going to set those two on. We need you, and we want you to be set to stockpile on off, because now we're going to go whoop. All of our thrusters are turned on. That's a good thing. Okay, so basically what we're doing right here is we're just going to swap you over for just a couple of minutes, because what we want to do is we want to set up all of our controls. So I delete that one. We're calling this the hydrogen scout for right now. Let's say gear all. Simply because of the fact we're going to turn auto lock off, and we're going to have it switch locks, which is good. Okay, so, and you want to be switch lock, and okay, so I think we'll get rid of this, and we will have our second connector. Docking bases. We're going to have you be switch lock. Alright, now if I remember correctly, I've already killed the power on this thing. I don't think I need to do that again. Let me check, make sure. Yep, disabled. Now we only have one gyro on it, on the ship, right? So my concern is how well is she going to handle? Oh, that's a massive amount of acceleration. Let's see. I mean, that's awesome. Yeah, she flies pretty well. Might need to add a little bit more lateral controls, but overall not too shabby. And see, like I said, my main concern was that these large thrusters were going to burn too much power or too much hydrogen, and I think that's going to be a realistic concern. So what we will probably end up doing is I'll probably come back and take those out, and well, no, because I'd have to put, I might have to put a mod in. Damn it. So I might need to put a mod in to convert those. Actually. I wonder. No, I'd have to put a mod in. I mean, I guess I could run blocks down. All right, so I'm gonna consider it. We'll figure it out. Let me know what you think. Put your suggestions in the comments down below. Basically, I'm thinking we're going to put a mod in that will give us an adapter for these, so that we can downsize the large connector that's on there down to the small connector, not connector, the conveyor port, down to a small block conveyor port, the single block, instead of the 3x3. Mainly because of the fact, like I said, I don't want to have a ship that's burning so much fuel if I don't need to. And I don't think I actually need to have a ship do that. So we're going to try and figure out a way to basically beat the game. Alright, so let's go ahead and do that. Should be good. You know. Racing is love, right? Alright, so let's go ahead and do that. Kill the thrusters. And I think that is going to do it for us today. Hopefully you enjoyed it. If you did, make sure you hit that like button. If you have any questions or comments, feel free to throw them down in the section below. If you're new to the channel, you enjoy what we're doing around here, and you want to see more, be sure to subscribe. And if you want to be kept up to date when that new content comes out, don't forget to click that little bell. Anyway, I'm going to get out of here. I hope you all have a fantastic day. Enjoy the rest of your week, and we'll see you back here on Friday for more Space Engineers. As always, folks, take care and be safe out there, everybody. Alright, so I think that's everything. I do think I'm going to swap these out. Yeah, I think we're going to.